so I just want to quickly come and talk to you about recycling, which is something that we all do, obviously, with being crafters. Well, I say obviously, the junk journalists tend to be very crafty, very recyclable friendly. Couldn't get my words out. But yeah, so, right, card. 1 second, just let me shut the window. Card. We all love using card, it's no secret, and we all know how expensive it can be. Like, I have this, which is 210 GSM, a very good weight of card. That's bordering on 12 by 12 pads of card, 12 by 12 pads of scrapbooking paper style card. I got 32 sheets in this for £2 from B&M Bargains, which actually isn't bad. It's actually quite good, that. But yeah, but it can be a little bit expensive, and considering it's not too bad, we do cut it up, and we crafters do get our money's worth, because we don't always use a full A4 sheet unless we're printing out things on it. But for general crafting, making ephemera sort of thing, you know, we do use quite substantial card stocks, and it can be expensive. However, ouch. Oh my gosh, blooper time. I'm sorry guys, I don't know if you heard that. My hip just cracked, and oh my gosh, that well hurt. Sorry, 1 sec. I'm so sorry guys. Had to take a moment there because that really hurt. I don't know if you can hear, I don't know if you heard that in the background, but yeah, like I said, my hip just cracked. I'm stood up like I do most of the time when I'm crafting and videoing, and yeah, my hip cracked. But anyway, like we're saying, cardstock, yeah, it can tend to get expensive. But we have really, really good quality thicknesses of card all around us every single day, and probably don't even realise it. And it, like I said, recycling, packaging. I have this, I lovingly refer to as my Angela Kerr drawer, my Angela drawer, which is Angela Kerr. I'll link to Angela below. And I was kind of already doing this beforehand anyway, but she was the one that sparked me to have an complete obsession with saving packaging. I used to save bigger packaging, but all this sort of packaging, toilet rolls, I was doing this previously anyway. I have pictures on Instagram from 2-3 years ago where I used to flatten toilet roll tubes and use them for different things. But yeah, so I have stacks of toilet roll tubes that I have flattened and then stacked between heavy books up on the shelf or wherever, and then I tend to do this with them. I use rubber bands, elastic bands, and crisscross them like that because it keeps them like that. You can stack a lot, it keeps them together, it also keeps them flat. If you don't, they tend to, like here, they puff out at the sides, whereas if you put a band across both ways, they don't, they stay flat. Anywho, yeah, like I said, this is my Angela drawer because she's my encouragement. But yeah, all sorts of packaging in here, skinny whips, guilty pleasure. The Pokemon Company, one of Taylor's games, Nintendo games. These are from the Easter eggs, Smarties Easter egg, fibre 190, but there's lots of healthy stuff in here and whatever. They're all different kinds of colours of card on the other side, different shades. But that's great, because a lot of these already tend to be slightly aged looking, you know, that creamy colour or not dirty white, but off-white colour that we try and replicate with our inks, distress inks and stuff. So if you just stick something on that side, you don't need to put any, you don't need to back it, you can just write directly on the back of it, and packaging is brilliant for that. I save all the tiny little strips as well. My thoughts were, and I've been doing this for about 2 years now, before watching Angela's videos, is saving these kind of things, thinking, oh, they'll be alright for layering up to make book spines with. And you will have seen me doing that in videos of when I've been making books, journals. You will have seen me doing that, where I've taken strips and layered them up with glue to make a book spine. Tags off clothing, really strong tags. Again, thinking more along the lines of reinforcing spines, because they get covered anyway. But like I said, this drawer is full of all sorts of packaging, tea bags, also, yeah, dunkers, tailors, things. There's the other skinny, but these are perfect sizes to just, even as is, or cut in half. And you've got 2 journaling cards there. You know, obviously cut the raggy edges off, make them straight, or not, if you prefer not to. Cut it in half, you've 2 journaling cards there. You don't even need to do anything to the back, just sew around it, put a nice picture on front, sew around it. Brilliant, you know, you're ready to go. And of course, packaging usually has 2 sides. So I've kept these and all, and these were off a pair of socks. Oh yeah, takeaway, spring rolls, and all sorts in there. I even have that from a cat's collar. I just thought it were a nice unusual shape. Then I have a round one from, oh, this is one at grandbaby number 4's dinners. It was the front bit, so I kept that, thinking it's a circle, it's unusual. But yeah, so like I said, just packaging. And then these were chocolate, even the little tiny bits. And then this was the tray part. It was like that, and it was full of Twix bars. My niece recently bought Taylor a big giant, this big, packet of Twix. I think there was 8 in it, or some doubles, something like that, 8 in it, or 16 or something, and that's what it was like. So of course I got rid of the outer packaging, took the Twix bars out, and this is what I was left with. And you get this as well, guys, look, a lot of the time packaging is already perforated on the edges for you to be able to pull it apart. So perfect. And most recently, some lemon Viennese creams. I confiscated these from my mum's house last night because yeah, you will have already have seen the update video of my dad being in hospital. Well, of course, junk food is not allowed when he comes out, so I confiscated these. I brought them home and ate them for him. Yep. And then all you do is just open the top and bottoms out, so you can do that with them. And then find inside, there is always a join there, you know, like a little lip there where the packaging joins. So get to that bit, and most times it will, sometimes it does that, most times it doesn't. Most times it will just come open really easily. This one has to be awkward because I'm on camera. And then all I do is, if it gets like that, you know, I just bend it the other way and fold, and then I just tear down it, which is where you get the raggy bits. That then will probably go in the bin because it's all thin and scrawny. I do the same with the edges. I take the edges off, and thanks to a video from Kerr, not at all related to Angela Kerr, just a coincidence, but thanks to a video from Kerr, I now have use for these tiny little scraps as well, and I will link to that below as well. I'll link to that video by G below. It's a really good video for making little clusters and stuff out of scraps. But yeah, this is all I do. Just fold them the other way and then tear them off. And look, it's a bit short, but sometimes if you have bigger packaging, you've already got a book spine and you've already got your front and back page. Otherwise, again, you just fold it and tear down it, and there you go. 3 really nice pieces of card there. You could make a bookmark or a belly band out of that, and then cut that into smaller pieces, make tags or journal cards out of it. Sorted. This is my guilty pleasure, another one of my guilty pleasure, sandwich steaks. I love these. Again, find the little join. Oh, see, I thought this one was going to behave as well, but it hasn't. Oh, it did. There you go. Now this one, you don't always tear properly, so then you just use your scissors or your craft knife to get that off. Fold over, tear down, and then this is, you know, if I cut it down to size, that is perfect for a journal. I've got a ready-made journal cover there. Spine already, front cover, back cover. Yeah, so ignore that join there and keep it there. And then, like I said, I could even leave it like that, or I'd probably cut it down. Reinforce it, cover it with material or whatever, and you've already got the makings of a journal there, guys. Sorry, Gaff frightened me to death. Third man come home. I thought it was the washing machine I could hear in the background. It wasn't. It was third man opening the door. Well, kind of sneaking in, opening the door. Frightened me to death. Anyway, like I said, you've pretty much, like I said, got your makings of a journal cover there, ready made. All you need to do is then just, you know, cover it with scrapbooking card or whatever, and sew around it. Do whatever you'd normally do. You know, treat it like a normal piece of card. What I do is, though, because packaging tends to be a bit shiny, sometimes a little bit glossy, and again, you'll have seen me doing this before, probably with the spines. What I would do is just take a normal nail file. It doesn't look normal because I've been using it. A normal nail file, emery board, even the 4-way buffers and things like that, or sandpaper if you've got some. I'd just take it, and it's probably not going to do it because I've used it. Yeah, and just rough it up. Give it some tooth, as they call it. You know, you don't have to scrub really, really hard. I'm using a new one. And like I said, just, you know, give it a buff, give it a sand to, like I said, get rid of some of the gloss and give it a bit of tooth, something to cling to. It will need reinforcing, obviously, because it's good quality stock, card stock for things like tags and journaling cards, but as a cover itself that's going to open and shut constantly and that sort of thing, it needs reinforcement. Also housing heavy signatures. But yeah, like I said, it's there done for you. Get rid of that piece, I won't use that. I know I do actually throw things away, shock horror. And then, this is an interesting, this is not mine, I do not like egg custards, they are disgusting. Then you get packaging like this. This is Third Man's guilty pleasure. Again, open it at the side. Obviously it's always open at one side. Open it at the other side. And then you can flatten it out. But also then look for the join inside. There will always be a join, obviously. Tear along that. There you go, it's open. Now, with something like this, it's very interesting because what you can do is pull these off, not very straight. That's really thin as that because that's where it was joined. I can't even tear straight today. Alright, let's tear down. You don't actually have to tear like this. You can just line it up with your ruler, metal ruler, and use your craft knife. But that, now you've got one of two options with this. Quite interesting, a little bit unusual shape wise, which is something that us junk journalists love. So you could then collage around that, and obviously you could put a sticker or something over that and collage around it, even leave some of that yellow, it's quite nice. And then you've got your window. You know, you could then put that in a journal or something, although it's a bit big to go on it, maybe a cover, put it on your journal cover, have a nice image in the background. Or you could then turn it over and pull this off. This is acetate. So you could then turn it over and pull that off to put to one side and use in future projects. Instead of buying acetate, you can recycle it. Like so. Now obviously you've got these bits on, so you'd have to cut around it, but you've a nice big piece there, little piece there, and yeah, so if we just, you just cut them pieces off so that you're left with just a piece of clear acetate for future projects. And then you don't have to be hitting Amazon and places like that to buy some. How cool's that? And you can use that in your envelopes and things like that you want to do, So you've always that option as well with this kind of packaging. Thing is, with acetate, as soon as you put it down on your desk, you can't see it anymore. And then obviously you're also left with unusual shapes. But yeah, so there you go. I hope, probably not explaining this very well, and there probably are better videos out there, more videos out there explaining it better, but I hope that's given you, no pun intended, some food for thought. Yeah, it's kind of what I'd call a slippery slope. Once you start going down that slope, you will start looking at all kinds of packaging in different ways, and what you would normally throw away, you will be, no, don't throw that away, put it to one side, and you will be finding loads of different uses for it. But yeah, so which is kind of good, because less stuff. I know recycling's different than just putting rubbish in the bin to go to the landfill, but yeah, like I said, you will start looking at packaging in a whole different way. Now, the drawer I've already shown you is what I refer to as my Angela drawer. And then I have this basket, which is also full of stuff. That was from Taylor's Switch controls. He needed some new ones. Now, these are what I'd call these are my potential journal cover pieces. I know it's an unusual shape, but this is really good because it's mega thick cardstock, like corrugated cardboard, but it's really, really thick. I don't need to tidy up the edges. I don't need to do anything on the inside. That, it doesn't need reinforcing. I will do the cover, but that will hold up to being a journal cover. And I'm thinking, right, well, there we go. Then there's cup of soup boxes, small journals, there's a few of them in there, and of course packaging, like I said, undo it all and flatten it out, it's easier to store. That was a chocolate one. Actually, in here, yep, in here there's actually instructions in there in my own head that I wanted to do to make this into a box for a journal. So I was going to make a long skinny like traveller's notebook journal and use this as the box to put it in, and use that as the flap and blah blah blah. I have my own little instructions in there. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. These are this, but before I've cut them up, they have, like I said, they have chocolate in them, but they have the most tiniest little spine, just enough for one signature, as like a traveller's notebook journal. Again, there's some more there, more chocolate covers there. Oh, that's my latest headphones. It's a headband headphones. Again, TN covers. That is actually a book cover that I threw in there. Then I've got another set. He's had quite a few of these. And then we get on to the smaller ones. That was one at Thiedman's prescriptions box. I have made a mini, and then I've got these. I have actually made a mini journal before. I have videos on it. I used a hay fever tablet box. That's an OXO box. I used a hay fever tablet box, one of these. I actually, literally one of these, it was that big. yeah, I covered it in material. I actually did a hidden spine. I think it has 4 signatures in it. I did it as a hidden spine, so I sewed the signatures onto a piece of scrap material and then glued it in. I reinforced the spine first, glued it in, covered the spine. I went over it with gesso and white paint, and then I covered it in material, sewed around it, blah de blah, reinforced the spine, sewed the signatures in, and I made a tiny little journal this size, and I gave it to my friend Michelle over at Shell's CCC for her birthday last year. And like I said, I have a video on that. I did that as my antique papery design team project, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. It was so much fun, and it was such a cute little journal. I didn't want to part with it afterwards. So I have all these saved because I intend on doing that again. That is a box for batteries, the little AA batteries, so that's an even tinier journal. What I did as well when I did the hay fever box journal, I took the normal A4 kits and I printed each page 4 to a page, which shrunk it down like this big, and by the time I'd cut them out and cut the borders off and everything, they fit in here pretty much perfectly. I maybe just had to lose a little bit off the side, but they fit in the cover perfectly. So there you go. And then I've got all this packaging here, vouchers that Taylor's used over the time for his Switch, the e-shop and that sort of thing. These have been birthdays and Christmas presents, and when he saved his spending money. I saved them though because I kind of intended on covering them over and doing something with them. They are plastic, but I was going to collage on them and that sort of thing. Oh, there's all sorts in here. That I was going to make into a notebook style, because I kind of with the spine at the top. I was going to rescore it. Yeah, there's all sorts. So in here are all stuff that are potential. There you go, see that one? Potential journal covers. Not espresso, cappuccino. Yeah, these, like I said, are all potential journal covers. If not, I just cut them in half and use them as journaling cards and stuff, the Easter egg boxes. So there you go, guys. There is potential for all sorts of things when you're using packaging. So like I said, no pun intended, but I hope I have given you some kind of food for thought, and you keep these in mind in future when you're about to throw some packaging away. Yeah, but be warned. Be warned, guys, as soon as you start doing that, you will be overrun with packaging very, very, very quickly. So you need a nice substantial tub or a drawer or something to store them in, because they do very, very quickly mount up, because you don't realise just how much cardboard packaging kind of thing, other than your Amazon stuff that comes, you kind of don't realise how quickly how much of this stuff you've got until you start hoarding it like this, like in your frozen packaging and stuff like that. Yeah, but there you go. So I am at some stage, not right now, I will at some stage do some videos on using the packaging, like making a journal card out of it and that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the shape of the back of this anyway. There's a dip out of it there for you to get hold of the chocolate bar to pull it out, but there's a dip there because that's where you pull the piece down to open the packaging to get inside. But obviously that's no good now, so what I'd probably do is use that as a guide and just cut across there, so that then I've just got that. But like I said, thanks to a video from Kerr, again, like I said, in no relation at all to Angela Kerr, but thanks to a video from Kerr, there's now a use for all of these little scratty pieces that you also pull off and would normally throw away as well, because I would normally throw these away. Well, now we have a use for those as well by making little clustery things and stuff like that. It's like these I would just tear like that and use. Yes, so there you go. Like Like I said, a lot of packaging also tends to already be perforated for you, so that makes your job a lot easier when it comes to cutting it. But you don't have to tear this way like I do. Like I said, if you've got a metal ruler and a craft knife, do it that way, or alternatively use your scissors, use a scoreboard even, and then whatever you use your scissors, or even your paper trimmer. You know, I don't know what it is, but I find this quite therapeutic. Yeah, be careful of paper cuts doing it this way as well. I've lost count of how many times I've ended up with sly paper cuts on the side of my fingers. But yeah, so like I said, this was the tray of Twix bars, and it's kind of glossy on a not glossy, but it's slightly more softer on one side than the other. This is more cardboardy, that has kind of a coating on it. I would more than likely cover that side, the softer side, and use the rough side to write on. Depending what I'm doing, I might do it the other way around. I might collage or whatever on this rough side because it's got something to cling to, and then use that softer side to journal on. But that's a nice weight, is that, and what I'd be tempted to do with that is fold it in half and then fold it in half again, and then you get your journal cards out of that. You know, kind of make it even. I would do it this way. This is just what I would do though. It's not lined up properly at all. And I wouldn't necessarily do that any better either. I wouldn't necessarily use a scoreboard or anything like that. I'm not one for precise measurements. You know, if it's slightly off or slightly slanted, it doesn't bother me. I can rectify that when I'm decorating. You know, I can tidy them corners up or not when I'm decorating, and that's good size there round the corners. Good size there for a mini little journal card. So, and we've just got 4 pieces of, or 4 potential journal cards or tags, whatever, out of a long strip of cardboard that would have otherwise gone in the bin. So yeah, and I will come back at some stage and show you uses for your toilet roll tubes. But yeah, so there you go, guys. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Like I said, I am slightly otherwise occupied at the moment. I was filming, and well, I'm saying filming, I've actually just, you guys won't see this then, see this until after, but I've actually just finished filming the update video about my dad, which you should have already seen by now, and if you haven't, go and watch please, because I'm not going to go through it all again. If you'd like to know, obviously, then go and watch. I'm not going to go through it all again. Little snippets. But yeah, so I figured while I'm in kind of a talky mood, I would just come on and do a video. So there you go, guys. Videos are going to be a little bit random, as in what I'm doing, because I'm now no longer doing the challenges that I was planning to do. But also videos are going to go back to a regular schedule of Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and there may be an odd one in between, but predominantly Monday, Wednesday, Fridays now. Yeah, so there you go. Like I said, while I was in a talky mood, I figured, hey ho, let's get it done. So there you go, guys. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun with you. I hope you have fun rooting through your cupboards and your freezers now for your cardboard packaging. Yeah. Check out the links below. Oof, sorry, that was the washing machine. Check out the links below, and yeah, check out Angela Kerr's channel and G Kerr's channel. Like I said, again, completely not related to each other, just a coincidence. For their crafty videos and tips and stuff. And like I said, keep your acetate as well, because you guys know this stuff is always useful for something, and it's also not necessarily cheap to come by. But yeah, it's also very sticky. It's not sticky, but it clings to everything. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all again soon. Goodbye.